This is a video review of the Transformers Kabaya Fortress Maximus. It's finally here, and it is awesome. Before we begin, I just want to say, I know someone asked if I'm going to review the Gaia Cross kits, and the answer is yes, I'm still going to do those eventually. However, when I saw this thing pop up on eBay, I had to get it right there and then. This is something I've been waiting to review for a long time, and I totally called it. You'll remember back when I reviewed the Wave 4 of the Kabaya kits, I suggested some things I'd like to see Kabaya do in the future, and one of those suggestions was a Fortress Maximus spread out across a whole wave, all three kits. You'd build them and put them together to make a bigger and more detailed Fortress Maximus than any individual kit ever could be. And then a few months later, Kabaya announced that they were actually going to do that. So that was cool. This is always going to hold a special place in my collection just for that. One thing I did not predict was that the kits would be bigger than an ordinary Kabaya kit. Just get this out of the way. You know, this is a normal size Kabaya kit box. So here's the box that a Fortress Maximus kit comes in. So as you can see, it's a lot bigger. So that surprised me. It's not just 3 normal size kits to build a Fortress Maximus, it's 3 jumbo size kits to build a Jumbo Fortress Maximus. Now, that I think is very cool. That surprised me. So let's get started. I'm not going to talk about the individual kits this separates into, because I'm going to be honest, I've had this thing for a few days now, and not once have I ever gotten the urge to separate it. It's, you know, you're buying this for the Fortress Maximus. The only reason Kabaya advertises the ability to separate this into 3 different buildings is because you know that some dumb parent out there is gonna get their kid one Fortress Maximus kit, so some kid out there is gonna be stuck with a leg, and so Kabaya advertises the ability to play with just a leg. But since we're all adult collectors here, we don't have that problem. So for us, there is no reason to ever separate this into its components. I also wasn't going to talk about this mode at first, but then it's not something I've ever cared about and never understood the appeal of this mode, but then I tried it, and in hand it's a lot more impressive, where you can appreciate the size of it. I mean, it still doesn't look like much of a spaceship. I mean, it's still obviously just a robot lying down, but I don't really know how to explain it. I just like this mode a lot more than I ever thought I would. From here, I'm just going to go straight to city mode. It's pretty simple to do. Oh, one thing I'll mention is that these feet, they don't just peg into place like you might expect if you've handled Kabaya kits before. The leg panels actually fit around the peg, so this will never fall off. The construction of this kit is a lot more advanced than previous Kabaya kits. Nothing likes to pop off. It's, when it's done, it feels like a toy rather than a completed model kit. one other thing I'll mention is that these pieces, when you move them, they'll like to wiggle out a bit, and it looks like a really shallow peg, so you'd think these will just fall right off. They won't. So you'll see it's actually a really long peg, and this hole is not as shallow as it looks, so these will wiggle out a little when you'll transform it, and you'll have to wiggle them back in, but they won't pop off. So that's cool. One thing about these ramps, they do actually tab into place so they don't flop around. Just pretty cool. Alright, now we just have to add the headmaster. So this panel can be a bit of a pain to lift up. You really need nails to do this. I grew them out just for this. Also, if you fold the legs all the way like that, it doesn't really fit into place. You have to have them down at a slight angle. Then it goes in just fine, and then it sits flush. And that's it. No parts popping off. It's just a solid, fun transformation. It's a mini Fortress Maximus. First off, all these little opening doors and such are intact. Unfortunately, you're not going to find many Transformers that are small enough to actually fit in there. Also, this piece doesn't fold out. I don't know why. The original Kabaya Fortress Maximus kit from the 80s also left out that folding bit, so I don't know, maybe Kabaya just doesn't like it. It's unfortunate, but I can live with it because the rest of this mode is just so cool. Let's talk about some gimmicks, because they actually managed to fit some gimmicks into this thing. First off, it comes with two little mini bots. They're some of the smallest Transformers ever made, and they actually do transform. Power Glide is a parts former, but what can you expect? It's Wind Charger actually does transform. It's which is kind of bizarre. I mean, most of Kabaya's kits have been parts formers, and then they make a kit this tiny and they manage to make it transform. I don't know. Kabaya's weird sometimes. But that's just awesome that they managed to do this. Here he is next to smallest Transformers Prime. Here's Power Glide. So, they're a great size for mini-bots. They display nicely with smallest Transformers, so if you collect those, you'll love these. And they interact with Fortress Maximus. You come around to the back, you'll see there's a little lever. You'll want it up. Take Wind Charger, stick them in there, and push down on the lever. out he goes. He actually has some spinning wheels. You know, again, it's amazing. All the larger Kabaya kits have no spinning wheels and they're parts formers, but this tiny little thing has spinning wheels and a perfect transformation. Go figure. Power Glide also has a launcher. You push this in until it locks. Put Power Glide on the ramp. This also works with Twin Charger. But push back on the lever. So that is cool. You actually get a spring-loaded launcher. When's the last time you saw one of these on a toy? That's awesome. And that was good. I didn't read or see any reviews of this guy before I got mine, so I had no idea that they did that. That was a very pleasant surprise when I was building this, and it turned out I had to build a spring-loaded launcher. Man, I just love this kit. This is amazing. Alright, let's get this guy transformed. Those are the only parts you have to remove from the whole thing, and it's all things that had to be removed on the original toy. So the rest is perfect transformation. Start folding things up. And again, the ramps actually click into place so they don't flop around. This building actually pegs together pretty well, so you'll need nails for this. Again, they tab into place. This folds down. Then you take this little building, rotate that up, and that's it. Look at the size of this. He does come with his weapons. So. He also comes with his sword, which comes from his appearance in the Headmaster's cartoon. It's a tight fit, but there you go. This toy in general seems to take inspiration from the Headmaster's cartoon. You'll see with that the horns are much more prominent than they are on the original toy. And it's, they were able to do that because they redesigned the transformation to move the horns onto the arms, whereas on the original toy they'd be stuck on the legs, and if they were this long they'd be in the way. So look at that. This sword is huge. To give you an idea of how big this sword is, here it is next to, not even a normal size Kabaya kit. This is bigger than a normal Kabaya kit because, it's a combiner. It's got the extra boots. Wow. Also has his other weapons. You get the flip out panels on the arms, so you know the blasters don't flip out, or there's no stickers to detail them, but you know, there they are. Also get these. And these on his legs are actually a pain to get out. You can't grab them like that, or out here. The only way I found to get these out is you have to use a nail and come in from the side. You know, for me that always works. If you don't have nails, I don't know how you can do it. Now for some more size comparisons. Here it is next to a smallest Transformer. Here it is next to Wind Charger. And here it is next to a Voyager class Transformer. As you can see, Fortress Maximus is actually a bit taller than a Voyager class Transformer. That is impressive. If you find yourself wondering why this wave costs twice as much as previous Kabaya waves, you know, keep in mind that the kits are twice as big. You get a jumbo Fortress Maximus, you get the mini bots, you get all these weapons, you get all the features, you get a spring-loaded launcher. You know, you get something that displays nicely with the other Kabaya kits. It displays nicely with smallest Transformers. You know, it's bigger than some Voyagers. I honestly don't have anything bad to say about this kit. I mean, you know, I usually find something I'm able to nitpick, but this, I am just happy with this purchase. I mean, you can't go wrong with this kit. If you are even marginally interested in the Kabaya kits, definitely pick this one up. It is absolutely worth the higher price. You know, I got mine for around 60 bucks. It's, you know, most of the Kabaya waves cost like 30 bucks. It's absolutely worth it. I do not regret spending the money. It's a miniature Fortress Maximus that has most of the features of the original toy. What more do you want? You know, once again, Kabaya is making my dreams come true with this line. This is their best work yet, by far. I can't wait to see what they do next. I would love to see them make a Scorponok to go with this. I mean, it would be the first time that we get a Scorponok that is the same size as Fortress Maximus, because the original toy Fortress Maximus is, you know, towers over Scorponok. You know, they don't even make for a good display together. And of course, the original Scorponok doesn't really have a face, so you know, Kabaya might be able to give it a face like the Black Zarak had a face. I don't know. The point is, I want to see more like this. This is awesome. Everything about this kit is done right. It's big, it's perfect transformation, it's got all kinds of details. I absolutely recommend this kit. This, you know, I've been following this line since the beginning, and this is the best work Kabaya has ever done. There's a little lever right here that push down on it. Can take a bit of wiggling sometimes, but it's ridiculously tiny. I mean,